and to the players, and not just our players, to Utah's. But yeah, you got to give them credit that they came out with big fight and energy, which we knew that, but now you have to match that, and this is never as easy as you want it to be. But on these days, you also learn a lot about who you are. And this is a different KC Current team. It's 2026 version, right? So today, I think we learned, we still are a really gritty team. We got really good attackers. We have depth. And going down a player, going down a goal and coming back was a really good sign for this team. Because it's going to be a way that we're going to have to win games. So proud of the team and a good first start to the season.
Questions, and please say your name and your outlet before you ask your question. Daniel, go ahead.
Daniel Sperry. It's okay. Daniel Sperry, Kansas City Star, coach. That the first half it seemed like things weren't quite coming together in the final third. Second half was much better. You guys got a lot of shots off. We're creating a ton of chances. What did you say at halftime, and how did you get them to kind of get that focus in on that final third in the second half?
Yeah, there's a few different things there. One was to show them and tell them in transition, we created so many moments. It was 26 in the first half. And that we need to just calm down in those moments by staying on the ball, taking touches, which we've been talking about all along, which easier said than done from a coach when they're out there and they're trying to go fast in these moments. But you can see if we were a little bit sharper, maybe it leads to more final actions. So that was one talking point at halftime. Another big part of it was they were hitting a lot of diagonal balls from the goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper, we had time on the ball, and we were running Ali Setner from the left, and we just changed the way we were going to press. The first part was moving our back line up, so Ellie Wheeler was closer to these diagonals, which helped. And the thing that helped even better, pressing out of a 4-2-3-1, we changed the press a bit and put the goalkeeper on the clock, we say. So by going in that different press, it just meant that they had building with three, we pressed up with three, and it just changed the rhythm of the game, which was what we were hoping for. We were hoping to create more transition, which we did, and say, come on, can we just calm down a little bit, which we did. So, yeah.
And then Ali gets the goal. I know it's her first for the team. She's been here for a little while, but can you just kind of say, what can you say about her goal in that moment to step up and get the win?
Listen, it's from what I understand, it's her first goal for this club. I mean, she came last year, so I'm really happy for her. You know, that she gets on the score sheet. She's got her eye on a prize out there with the national team, but when she's here, she needs to perform here to show that maybe she can get there and continue to be there. But a player that works as hard as she did, I thought she had a great second half, and she was lively in the first half. But to get the goal, for her, it's probably a really big reward besides the win, so that she scores on the debut, she plays really well, and it's against her old team. So I'm really, really happy for her.
PJ Green, Kansas City Star. With the formation out there, it looked like that was the best way to make sure all the attackers were just moving forward, and then the rotational piece was there. So how did that come to be, just getting them in that concept and then seeing that through fruition?
Yeah, listen, we love our attackers. They're creative, they're dangerous, but we know they're coming along right now. We got Croy Bethune later in the preseason. Coop is coming off an injury, which we had limited to 45 minutes today. Same with Croy. We knew had a finite amount of minutes today. We pushed. I'm glad that we left her in after halftime, because it's always a 45 to 60 window. I said, come on, can we go a little further? We get the goal. I think it's good. And then, of course, with Deb and Ali, 9s, 9.5s, 10s that they can play in those pockets. But I thought they were all great, and they're sometimes 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4.5, and because they can get on the same page. But I think, listen, they show their quality in the end. Croy makes a big play for us, for her. And I thought the players off the bench also. Penelope had a big moment, and Haley Hopkins, I thought, came in and did a good job. So we're going to keep working that part of it. But I thought it's a nice group to work with, those attackers.
And then in the midfield, picking up Bailey and Katie and then throwing Gabby in there later. Just what was the decision to just kind of pivot low and rocky? I know that kind of changed things a little bit.
Yeah, we've been, necessity is the mother of all invention, we say. that sometimes when you have to do things, that you can reveal certain things that you might not have discovered. But we thought, based on Katie's qualities, that her feistiness, her ball winning ability, we thought she had a really good day today for a right back. We're saying in the last few weeks to try to rep her essentially. Bailey Feist on her birthday, I thought played great, and it's another gift for her, honestly, because the greatest reward for a player is to play well. I know this. I thought both of them did a really nice job. And then Gabby, we knew that if we needed some help in there, which we thought we might, we could bring an E-ball in with her experience to lock down a game. I thought Gabby did a really nice job, essentially. And on that note, I thought our back line, honestly, we gave up a goal on a set piece. We don't want to give up a goal in training, let me tell you. So they're as pissed as they are to give up a goal, they were really stingy today as a back line. Really proud of their effort.
Coach, congratulations on the win. I'm Jillian, by the way, with the Casey Current local broadcast. Deb wore the captain band today, went 90 minutes hard. We've seen that from her. What type of role is she going to have on this squad moving forward? Obviously, Lo is also a leader. There's so many different leaders, but Davina just really showed up today with like a little bit of edge. What do you see for her this season?
Yeah, Jillian, I know who you are. I think we all know that we have a gift in Deb, and we don't want to run her into the ground every game all those minutes, and we won't need to. However, because we have options, Temoi's coming back off injury, we've added Penelope, we have players like a Gianna, and more that we're going to say, okay, we have some depth. But when you talk about Deb, I think that she emulates of who we want this team to be. Intensity and energy as a playmaker. Creativity that plays for the fans. So it was hard to even think taking her off at the end because she still was creating and running and coming back into the game and bringing people in. So she's a leader. She's a leader by example. Everyone loves her and respects her. And we have so many games this year, but she'll be a big part of things, especially centrally in our midfield attacking unit. Sure.
No, Coach. Alvaro from Telemundo, Kansas City. So we saw a different midfield with Feist and Scott from last year, right? So how do you value their game and things that this team needs to improve for the next match and the next coming weeks?
Yeah.
If you can say something in Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's look, I would say that todas cosas importante. Siempre espacio para trabajar y mejor cada día y partido. Okay. What I'd say is we have players on this field that what we're trying to do as coaches is create clarity and give them solutions. We call them principles of play. So whoever we plug in, we think, okay, can you meet the demands based on these positions? So yes, if Temoi's in, we love it. But if the other winger comes in, does she understand certain things that will help us score goals? So it's not we're reliant on one player. That if our captain Lola Bont is out, which is a big miss, that other players can get into the squad and understand that together we're very clear on what we do. So I'm not surprised that both those sixes did a nice job today. And in the end, we're just find out about our roster. And by the end of the year, we will be deep, we'll be healthy, and that's the idea. But there'll be a lot of little things each game to work on. In possession, more pressing, more moving the back line, counter pressing. This is going to be for the next 8 months.
So when you get the Temois and Low back, how much this team is gonna change?
We'll see. We're gonna see how when Temoi's out there, it's Temois, right? She's one of the best players in the league. So certain things change, but from the way we play, we're not changing our DNA. This is our team. We attack to score goals. We press high out of possession. That doesn't change. Individual qualities can change the way it looks on certain days. Yeah.
Okay, we'll stay in the room. Go ahead.
I'm Evan within Kansas City. You mentioned when in the second half you wanted to see them calm down when they got the ball. Sentner's goal right in front of the net and seemed very calm in that moment. Is that an example of what you're looking for?
A crystal clear example. We talk a lot about scoring goals, but we talk a lot more about how to score goals. So the areas that we get into, the areas that we try to shoot from, we talk a lot about upgrading shots. And how do you do that? Well, sometimes it's the extra pass to eliminate a defender so you have a clear picture to goal, or sometimes you just stay on the ball. And Allie seemed to stay on the ball for, felt like 2 minutes, and she's moving, and until she got a clear path to goal. So she's worked hard at this. She's a good finisher. But if she can keep shooting from that goal zone, she's going to score a lot of goals for this team.
All right, we've got time for 2 more. Dave and then Tom.
Coming up in a tough stretch, Coach. Congrats on the win, by the way.
Thank you.
Debut. 3 road games in 7 days starting next weekend. How do you handle that? Squad rotation, tactics. What does that look like? 'Cause it'll be a tough stretch.
The easy solution is to get 11,500 people to come on the road because they are amazing. I was looking forward to lots of things today, but that was one of them, to just feel the energy of this crowd, to see the way they got behind the team. I always say what comes first, but they were giving us energy all game long, and we needed to give them something more, which we did, and the players responded. However, we'll maybe get a few of them on the road, but listen, there'll be squad rotation. We'll have different match plans that give us the best chance of winning. We'll have to go deep into our roster, which is great. 3 games in a week, and we're on the road, turf games, tough. It's going to be good for us to see, again, more about who we are, road mentality, but we'll have no doubt that we'll go on the road to get points and win games.
Firstly, Shea Butter, you brought on Gianna Paul late in the second half to kind of kill off the match. She was lively as soon as she came in. What can you say about her development as a player, being first-year professional coming from college?
I thought she did great. Number one, I agree with you. And what I say about Gianna, I probably could have brought her on a few minutes earlier, and I thought she brought exactly what the game needed at that moment, was energy and sprinting and coming back into the game and pressing. She almost scored and nicked one off the goalkeeper because her speed over 10, 20 meters is fast. So I'm happy for her because she probably feels $1 million even for those minutes. But what I say about her, the last thing is open, hungry, coachable, moldable. And it's every day she comes to get 1% better. So it's a nice reward for her tonight to earn more minutes.
Just Haley Hopkins, I know you had the minutes restriction on Michelle, but when she came in, she really seemed to bring a lot of that link-up play, a little bit of hold-up play even out wide. And just what did you see from her and how she kind of impacted the kind of the turning tide in that second half?
Yeah, listen, I thought she also brought good energy. She's very energetic. She enjoys pressing. She's good in the air. She's good on back post. She almost got one. I expected her to bring her experience and energy, and she did both. So I thought it was a mature performance from her, and she was, I think, one of the reasons that we turned it around in the second half, because she delivered a lot of what we were looking for. And Coop is Coop. She's a firecracker. She's not only energetic, but she's quality, and she's going to keep getting herself going here. But if we were sharper, we could have helped her more. She was open a lot. She was running deep in that first half. So, yeah, Haley, good job from her. Really good.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much. Congrats on the win. All right, we will have Allie Sentinor and Kayla Sharples in shortly.
First half, it's not often that you guys are trailing in this building, but you guys regrouped and it came out strong in the second half. What was the conversation like in the locker room at halftime, and what kind of shifted the tide for you guys going into the start of that second half?
Yeah, I think we settled into it a little bit. The first game is always going to be a little bit chaotic. We've got nerves. We've got everything going into. Sorry. going into the first game, but at halftime we just talked about keeping the ball a little bit more, staying on the ball a little bit longer, short connections, and really just like getting into the flow of the game. So I don't think it was any major changes besides just doing what we know we can do on what we do on a daily basis.
And to add, just to keep bringing a little bit more energy, like riding that energy from the crowd is really important, and using that to our advantage. So I think, like we weren't honestly like freaking out or anything. We're like, okay, let's take a sec. We have a whole next half, and let's just settle into the game and everything, like Ali said. And I think that's exactly what we did. And I think we just came with a little bit more bite.
You got the assist on the first goal. That long ball through the little back heel flick. Just how did you describe kind of going through the motions in that moment?
Yeah, no, I'm just laughing because Gabby and I were like, center back, who got it? No, Gabby played a great ball in. We've been talking recently, like, even if you don't have eyes, on the back of your brain to see, just making sure you're aware of your surroundings. And Chris likes to say, like, eye of your brain, like, use it. So when you're in those situations, like a little flick here, just anything that you can do to get the defender a little bit off balance or something. So yeah, I just saw it come in. It was a great ball. I heard Croy behind me, and I just wanted to kind of take that defender with me. Just a little flick, and Croy did the rest. She placed the ball, and I'm so happy that she got the goal in her first game in her debut on her birthday. Like, it's a pretty incredible story there. So yeah, I'm just really happy to play my part in that.
For you, first goal with the team, just one. I don't know. Did you feel the pressure to finally get one in at some point? And what was it like, kind of seeing that play and finding the angle to shoot?
Yeah, it's a team sport, so as long as we're winning, that's all that truly matters. I was just happy to be in a position to help the team out today, and just as Kayla did, just as Croy did, just as like everyone on the team did their part, it's truly like a team win. We always say team first mentality. So it was amazing to score, and especially like the fans just make it even more better. So doing it even better, sorry, even better doing it at home, and the fans light it up. So honestly, it was a great day for the team. We get our first win. It's just a really good step in the right direction to continue building off for the rest of the season.
Ali's been knocking on the door, we knew it was going to happen. So I'm really happy for you to get that first game, like start off the season hot, and it gave us the goal up. So, it was just huge. So I'm really happy that you got
PJ Green, KC Star. Might as well. Come on, man. I know through the past few years, I know formations with Vlaco were pretty fluid, but it was mostly kind of 4-3-3. Just eager to get both of your perspectives on what this was like with only two mids and 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I think we're still a very fluid team. I think, yes, we had our game plan going into today, but we have players that can really do a lot. We have players that have strengths, and we just want to utilize all those people's strengths. So I don't think we're stuck in a certain formation. That's just how we presented today against what we thought Utah was going to come out with.
And with Gabby coming in and Katie coming in the midfield, just what was that like, Kayla, for the back line? Just kind of making sure that everything was kind of copacetic.
Yeah, I think just in general too, having like your first game back of the season, there's going to be chaotic moments, and it's about just like the communication. So no matter like who was on the field, it was just about a lot of us communicating constantly and consistently. And I think, shout out like Katie, playing in a position you know that she hasn't played in, and I think she did well. She did exactly what she needed to do, stopped attacks when needed, forechecked when needed, and so I think everyone around us were just talking a lot. And then same with Gabs, who had to go in the sixth position. I think she did a great job and has that defensive mentality. So I think that throughout, and it's hard too in the crowd like this, it's hard to hear each other a lot of the time. So it's always just being aware of your surroundings, checking your shoulders, and we really honed in on that a lot this week and making sure we were delivering on that aspect.
Allie, we were talking on the radio broadcast. Your goal somewhat reminded us of goals Temwa scores every year. She has one or two every year where she dribbles halfway across the box and then finds a way to create space and score. So was kind of curious your perspective on how that play unfolded.
If you're gonna compare me to Temwa, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it and run. No, I mean, yeah. I don't think anyone's gonna be like Temwa. She just can do that with her eyes closed. But I think, I really try to do well in tight spaces. I think that's one of my strengths is just small touches and if you see space, take space. So I think I just kind of kept seeing space and kept taking it and was happy to be in the box and able to score. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take that.
I was also curious what you're focusing on, kind of transitioning to a new position on this team, more from the midfield to the center forward, and kind of what you're focused on right now.
I think one of my big focuses is leading the press and making sure that I bring that energy and I bring the, making it a little bit easier for our defenders to win the ball. They do such an incredible job in there. I think Kayla won like 50 headers today. So I think just making it a little easier for them. And then I think one thing for me is focusing on back to goal. It's not something that I'm super used to. So I'm continuing to evolve that each day and runs in behind, but I'm just here to, play whatever position for this team, and we have an incredible front line, so it's just been fun to play with everyone.
Awesome. Okay, we'll move to the back to Matt Foster. Sorry, I already said your name.
Allie, I'm curious, how much confidence have you gained from seeing the ball go in the back of the net with the national team? I know an attacker always kind of needs that confidence, and the back half of that season here in Kansas City didn't really go probably the way you were hoping, but to finally see that ball starting hitting the net, how much did that trickle over to today, finally seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, as a board, it's awesome. It's great. You want to score goals and you want to help your team win. And yeah, I think it is different, the environments, the national team to here. So I think it's the hitting the back of the net is nice, but it is entirely kind of different and different mentalities of, you have the same mentality of the way you work, but the way that the team plays is different. So I think it's, having a good mindset and shifting into those different positions. But yeah, I think it's really fun. I want to continue to hopefully score goals for this team and honestly just create chances and continue to build as the season goes on and not just peak right now.
All right, Tom, we'll wrap it up with you.
So last season, the first match of the season that you were able to gain points from a losing position was the last regular season match of the season. And then you do that in the first this season. What lessons can you take from this particular match going forward into next season, or excuse me, the rest of the season?
I think it's just always having energy. I think we just lacked it in the beginning. So not being complacent and using the energy that the fans in the stadium bring. I mean, truly, it's pretty incredible. And so I think we like to be on the front foot. I think also what Chris has said too, we want to be a team that presses and not just always stays in a mid block, and picking those right moments. And Allie's alluded to it too. The 9 does it a lot, picks those moments to jump. And we've been working on it a lot in preseason. And so I think just continuing to follow that plan consistently will really help us, I feel like, get in the front foot a lot, and we create a lot of turnovers. So I think just those are all a lot of positives I think we can take into the rest of the season, but definitely staying on the front foot and just bringing that energy from the start of the game. I think that's what we can bring into the rest of the season.
Congratulations on the win. Thank you so much.